friends, welcome back to my channel Love My World. It's me Mahalakshmi. So last video we know that we had started a new series of a book that's How to Have a Beautiful Mind. We will continue the first chapter today. So before going to the video, please subscribe, like and share my channel. So now let's move on to the video. Here the author is telling about how to agree. This is the first chapter. To have a beautiful mind, you must generally seek to find points of agreement with the person to whom you are talking. Surprisingly, this is the most difficult aspect of all. It is so difficult because the agreement must be genuine and not just sycophantic pretense. We can look at two extremes of agreement and disagreement. I agree with everything you say. I completely agree with you. I agree 100%. If you agree with everything, there is not much of a discussion, not much of a conversation, and not much of an exchange of views. The other person might as well be giving a lecture. Nice as it may sound, your contribution is not very significant. Then there is the other extreme. Yes, but I totally disagree. That is not so. This is the person who makes a point of disagreeing with everything that is said. This highly argumentative person seeks to demonstrate superiority through disagreement. So here the author is trying to tell that we should always be in the between of two extremes, that is agreement and the disagreement. Next, the author is telling about some of the points which we should follow also. The first point is the need to be right. As we all know, an argument, it's a battle between egos, right? When we have egos, we will try to disagree or make arguments. Because of this, at last, you will always stay where you just started. So, always, the need to be right should be in your mind. The second one is the logic bubble. The author created this term, logic bubble, and he had told about this in his previous book also. This bubble is made up of the perceptions, values, needs, and experience of a person. The third one is special circumstances. This is the main part of this video. The author is telling that this is a major way in which disagreement can be turned into agreement. If there are any circumstances in which the other person's view might be right, then spell out such circumstances and try to show your agreement. So, through this, you can make a disagreement to an agreement. Like this, another point is that special values. This is also the same to the special circumstances. If the special values are right for the other person, then try to show your agreement in that too. That's the special values, the same to the special circumstances. The second last is special experience. The special experience, it's always difficult to argue with. For example, a person with years of experience looking after battered women may just suggest that they often go back because their self-esteem is so low they need the relationship. As a listener, you may feel good that they go back because they have nowhere else to go. You can agree that in some instances the self-esteem factor may be relevant, but not in all cases. The last point is sweeping generalizations. This is also usually very difficult to agree because the latter statement is exactly the sort of generalization with which most people would disagree. But you can disagree with the generalization as such and still agree with some aspects of it. For example, women can be as logical as men when necessary but also tend to be more intuitive. Or, men usually work in groups and logic is a way of convincing the other members of the group to go along with a plan. Women tend to act on their own and can rely on intuition as they do not need to persuade anyone else. So, in this way, you can disagree with the sweeping generalization, but show agreement with some of the implications also. These are the points which is told by the author. Now, let's see the summary of this chapter. First point is generally seek to find points of agreement in what the other person is saying. Second one is there is no contribution if you simply agree with everything. Third, to disagree at every point is irritating and boring. Fourth one is being argumentative is not at all beautiful. There are better methods of exploring a subject. Fifth one is there is no need to be right all the time. Remove your ego from the discussion and focus instead the subject matter. The sixth point is that make a real effort to see where the person is coming from. Explore that person's logic bubble. The seventh point is that see if there are any circumstances in which the other person's view might be right. Spell out such circumstances and show your agreement under those circumstances. The eighth point is see if there are any special values which might make the other person's view valid. Show that under those values you would agree, but also have your own opinion. Ninth point is that acknowledge the values of someone's special experience and treat this as a strong possibility but not necessarily complete. The tenth one is reject a sweeping generalization but see whether you agree with any of the implications or any aspect of generalization. 11th one is take a genuine delight in discovering points of agreement even when there is overall disagreement. The 12th point is changing your perceptions to look at things in a different way is an important step in reaching possible agreement. So this is the summary of this first chapter. Thanks for watching. Until coming with the next episode, thank you and bye bye.